Joining us now is Committee to Unleash Prosperity founder Steve Moore. Steve, you know where my equilibrium is? It would be zero. If they think they're going to move it up to 80,000, then you're never going to appease them. So let's ratchet that down from 10,000 to zero. That would be more fair to everybody. And you got a problem with it? Go talk to your state legislators. Don't go talking to us out west, for instance. Why should we have to pay for their crap?
So that's right, Jason, and I'll give you a perfect example because are you still a Utah resident? What
Yes,
state
I
are you
am.
a resident of?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I thought you were. So let's take Utah and New York. Taxes are roughly twice as high per person in New York as they are in Utah, and yet you have better services in Utah than New York. I've been to both states. So they have these big obese governments, and what they want is taxpayers in other states to pay for their, as Dagan was saying, they want people in other states to pay for their services. Now, here's the thing. When we put this bill together in 2017, I was one of the people at the bargaining table that said, look, we've got to get rid of SALT. There's no reason why there should be any SALT deduction at all. High tax states should not be able to put their taxes on people in other states. We didn't get full repeal, but we put in a $10,000 cap, which I thought was too high, but I could live with it. And then we said as a compromise, okay, we'll do 20,000. And now they said no. Well, then we said 30,000. No, we can't negotiate with these people, Dagan and Jason. They just keep asking for more and more and more. And it is simply a tax break that rewards states for wasting money, and that has got to go.
This is a handful of people who have already turned down, with no phase out, a $30,000 cap is $500 billion in spending over 10 years. You know what they want? $800 to $900 billion. They are the Veruca Salt caucus. You know, from Willy Wonka, I want it and I want it now. Spoiled rich people. They are going to get nothing. And is President Trump going to come back?
I hope you're right.
And knock their heads together? And I'm going to steal this from Jason. Let them vote on this bill and let it fail. Because the people of New York State are worse off if the bill fails and they get their full SALT deduction.
You know, this is a very important point you're making, Dagan. What I don't understand about these, these SALT Republicans is if in virtually every one, I think there's 5 or 6 of them, Jason, you may know the exact number, but in every one of those districts, 85% of their taxpayers got a tax cut.
That's right.
And by the way, the people who didn't necessarily get a tax cut are millionaires and billionaires. Look, I'm not against millionaires and billionaires. I love them. But why should they get a special tax break in the tax code? I don't like that. So what these SALT Republicans are saying is they're willing to take down the entire bill, and raise tax on 85% of their residents so that 15% can get a bigger tax cut. Does that make any sense?
It's their donors. That's who it is.
The more oxygen this gets, the more breath, the less likely it will have.
Based on my reporting,
can I raise one other quick point, though? You also have some Republicans, while we're spanking these guys, what about some of these Midwestern Republicans that are voting for the Inflation Reduction Act crap in the tax code, too? I mean, come on, what's going on here? We want a broad tax base, low rates. Now Republicans, not one of them voted for the Inflation Reduction Act.
I agree.
And now they want the subsidies.
Okay. For now, it's Lawler, Garbarino, Laloda, and Young Kim. Those are 4 I know. Oh, and Lee Stefanik. That's 5. I'll move on to the ones who want the Green New Deal later. But this for now. Massive budget shortfall in California. Now, Gavin Newsom has now proposed freezing new enrollment for illegals in the state. They call it Medi-Cal, but it's Medicaid. It's not supposed to be funded any dollars for illegals by the federal government. But listen to Governor Pomade.
So here are the solutions. $5 billion on a freeze on our Medi-Cal expansion. We're not cutting or rolling back those that are enrolled in our Medi-Cal system. We're just capping it, particularly for those without documentation.
It's blown up in his face. But what about the federal government? Why won't they roll back enrollment?
Yeah, well, that quote that you just played from Gavin Newsom is what we call being mugged by reality, because that state in California, Sacramento, is going bankrupt because they're providing all these benefits to everybody. They can't afford them. Then they try to put all the costs on the federal. By the way, the federal government pays like 90% of the cost of the program. They can't even afford to pay their own 10%. But it is amazing that the most liberal state in the country, California, is saying we're going to have to stop providing Medicaid for illegal immigrants, but we can't get the Republicans in Congress to do that.
Steve Moore, you've earned it. Go get some dinner. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining us.
Okay.